Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing an anime series review of Death Note. I have watched this anime about 3 times, and on the 3rd time viewing it, I decided that I would do an anime series review on it. So the first time I watched it was when I was just getting into anime, and I was recommended it as a starting anime. The second time I watched it, I was getting my boyfriend into anime, and so I recommended it as a starting anime for him. And the 3rd time I just recently watched it, I watched it for my best friend, and I'm trying to get him into anime, and so I recommended it as starting anime for him as well. As you can see, there's a sort of a pattern here. So in case you do not know, Death Note is about a guy named Light. Now Light randomly one day just comes across a Death Note that he finds just randomly placed that seems to fall out of the sky, and he watches it fall and then he goes to get it. He picks up this notebook, and in it are very specific instructions basically saying that with this notebook he can kill people by writing down their names. Light at first decides that this is obviously some sort of elaborate joke, and he thinks nothing of it. But later, as he's seeing a criminal act happen, he decides to see what would happen if he did write this person's name in the notebook. And so he writes this person's name in the notebook, and lo and behold, they do die. Light discovers that what he's come across is actually not an elaborate prank, but instead something really powerful that has the ability to change the world. And Light thinks that he is the one to do so. He decides that with this notebook, he's going to get rid of all the criminals and evil in the world and make the world a better place. And he will be the god of this new world. And some people are behind him and some people aren't. And the general public dub him Kira. Now, there is an investigator named L who is hired to find Kira and bring him to justice, as what he is doing is wrong. Because they know what's wrong, because when all these criminals are dying from heart attacks, it's become a number too high that it couldn't be just random. Someone's killing off these criminals and they don't know how it's happening, but they know that someone is. Someone has the ability to kill off these criminals, and they need to find out who and bring them to justice. So Al is hired. And the whole anime kind of follows Light and his journey of being Kira, and it kind of toys with the moral idea if what he is doing is the right thing. Al and Light often have a cat and mouse throughout the whole anime situation going on, each trying to up the other person, and it's actually quite interesting and fun to watch for the most part. And that's all I'm going to get into what it's about, because I don't want to give anything else away. This anime is recommended to a lot of people as a starting anime, as a gateway into anime and what anime is all about. For people who are hesitant to touch and pick up anime, for people who don't know where to start, Death Note is often always recommended to those people. And here's why I think that is the case. I think it's a concept of the Death Note itself, the power that it gives, and the then thing of should you use that power. Throughout the anime, it's often questioned towards you if Light is doing the right thing or not. And if not, at what point does he start not doing the right thing? At what point does he start to take things way too far? Or if he shouldn't just not done anything when he first got it? Or if you are behind him all the way and think that what he's doing is great and what, everyone should do if they got the chance. It also brings up the question, what would you do if the Death Note fell into your hands? There are people on either side of this anime, and it's really portrayed well for the anime of the good and bad things that happened when this Death Note fell into place, and the morality issues, using it. I think because of this, people can relate and have their own ideas and opinions on this, and because of this, people can like the show. They're interested in this idea of the Death Note, and whether they're on Light side or L side or someone in the middle, they can certainly relate to the storyline and what's going on. I think Death Note also shows people what they want in an anime, whether they like this type of anime or if they want a little bit more drama or a little bit more romance or a little bit more magical girl or a little bit more shoujo. Like, it tells you, it pretty much, shows you what you want in an anime and what you want to see more of, which is why, again, I think it is a good starting anime and why it is recommended as a starting anime. However, there are some flaws with it, that I find at least. The first being that you don't really get much character development for certain characters. For Light, I think you do, but for other characters such as Al, who is another very main character, I feel like you don't. And you don't really get to see into their backgrounds too. You don't get to see who Al was and how he became this really famous investigator. And I think that would have been really important and crucial to the story and would have helped the story along and make you feel something just a little bit more for these characters. Even though Al is my favourite character, I can certainly see how some people don't feel as much for him because of the lack of the backstory for him. The other thing is, some episodes can be completely pointless. Nothing really happens in them and you're just kind of left boring waiting. Some episodes will be like fully action-packed, like, whoa, you just blew my mind with what's happening, and then other episodes can be just like, when can we get back to the exciting stuff? It's not often that those episodes appear, but when they do, it's really dull and boring and a drag to get through them. Another issue that I have with the anime is the ending. I'm not going to get into spoilers, but about 3/4 into the way of the anime, something major happens. And after this event, things change. And it feels like we replay the whole anime again like everything starts to happen again and things are built up and characters are used as replacement characters, and it doesn't work. And I think those last few episodes are really lackluster and boring and seem kind of a cop-out. You might disagree with me if you've seen the anime, and that's fine, but these are just my opinions. However, I did like how the show ended overall. In that last episode, I'm not going to get into it, but I think it ended as well as it could have. Like, I don't think it could have ended any other way. Things I liked how Al was a little bit of a quirky character. He obviously has a love affair with all things sweet, which I can relate to him about that. He's just a very quirky, random character, and I like those types of characters. I also like Light too, in some aspects, and Ryukyu is the Shimigami, which are death gods. I think for the most part each character brings something to the show. Some characters though, however, can be irrelevant and unneeded, but most of the time they bring something important to the show and are interesting and good ideas of like the idea of if what Light is doing is the right thing or not, or if they're somewhere in the middle. They always kind of show you that throughout the show, and it's really interesting to see their points of views and how that may affect yours. I also really like the concept of the Death Note and the whole toying with the morality thing, if it's right, if it's wrong, if it's somewhere in between. And as I said, your views on this issue are often challenged and questioned throughout the whole anime, which I find is really fun. I also did enjoy the cat and mouse aspect of Al and Light. I love the banter between them and them trying to each one up each other and everything. However, sometimes it could get a little bit repetitive. At points too, it was also convenient, but I think it had to be in order to be that short of an anime. It is about 27 episodes, I think, and whilst you might think that's short, I mean, I've watched ridiculous amounts of episodes. Like, I've watched Sailor Moon and Inuyasha and stuff like that, where they just have ridiculous amounts of episodes. And I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying it is a relatively short anime, I would say. So overall, would I recommend Death Note? Personally, yes, I enjoy it. I don't necessarily like those last few episodes, but I think the first really make up for it. If you've got a friend who's kind of hesitating to starting into anime, maybe you two could watch Death Note together. And as I said, I think it really shows you what you want in anime. My overall rating for Death Note is a 7 out of 10. I really enjoy it, and whilst it does have some flaws, I still really enjoy it. So I would love to know in the comments below if you have watched Death Note or what you thought of it, or if you've read the manga and what you think of it. I personally have not read the manga, and I'm not sure if I will or not. So I would love to know in the comments below if you have read it and if I should read it. Also, if you have any anime suggestions for me, I'd love to hear them. And like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more bookish and anime-ish related things from me, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye!